Welcome to the Finding the Magic podcast, where books come alive. I'm Tricia Copeland, a fiction author and host of this show. If you love books, finding great reads, and hearing about the story behind the story directly from the authors, this is the place for you. Whether you like fantasy, science fiction, dystopian, or romance titles, I think you'll find something to love in my playlist. Listen in to discover something magical about a book or two today.
Hello, welcome to Finding the Book Magic podcast. Today we're mixing it up a little bit. I have special guest Mickey Mikkelson. He is a publicist and my publicist with Creative Edge Publicity. Thinking back over our 2-year relationship, Mickey, I realized I didn't ask you anything about like your resume or any of those things. I just said, sure, I'll hire you.
Well, first and foremost,
we did have a Zoom call, so I think we did that at least.
we had a 1-hour Zoom call, in which case you had a stellar 5 stars because I wanted to sign you within 2 minutes, and I'm so glad that I did. But yeah, so what do you want to know about my resume? You tell me. Like, what do you want me to tell you?
Okay, so I know that you own your own business, Creative Edge, and I think you just have one employee, right?
1.5.
1.5. Okay. You, yourself, and I, and two and a half then, right?
I just hired a new assistant. She started last week. Gonna bring her out to the world next week. And then I have my daughter who's been doing stuff part-time sporadically. So we're growing exponentially. But for 11 years, it's been me.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Well, and tell me, so first tell me a little bit about your background. What made you jump into this? Why do you love it? All of those things.
I went to school for marketing at the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, got a marketing diploma, learned how to do sales and technology, all that stuff. I worked in the credit union system for 12 years, going from credit union to credit union in Alberta and Saskatchewan, teaching lenders how to sell insurance coverages. Lovely dog. That's amazing.
Thank you.
and then within that, I was on the road 6 days a week setting up banking systems within this credit union system. Met a coworker. Her pen name is Miranda O. She wrote a book. We're traveling together through Alberta in the snowy roads. And she's like, I have this book, Mickey. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Well, I wrote a book. And previous to me working in the corporate sector of the credit union system, I actually worked at Indigo as a special events person, which is the biggest bookstore chain in Canada. So I said to her, you know what, Miranda? I think I have some experience with this. Let me see if I can get you some marketability. She did 8 signings in Alberta when we were together. We traveled during the day. We're meeting CEOs of credit unions. Then we're going to bookstores at night, and I'm teaching her how to sell books and all this stuff. Then we get some media coverage. She goes back to Winnipeg where she lives. I set up 4 more signings for her, and no word of a lie, Tricia. News spread so fast that within a week, 10 authors had contacted me, asking me to do the exact same thing for them. So, set up a little company. That was in March of 2015. By August, I'd signed 36 authors.
Wow, that's amazing.
And then in 2020, the company I was working for had a merger that released 36 people. I was one of the casualties from that. And I had CEOs calling me, can we go back to work? I know it's a long story, but I won't say it. Can you come work for us? We love what you do presentation-wise, all this stuff. And I said, I could do that, but I'm going to try and go full-time with my company. And that was in September 2020.
Okay.
By November, I went from 36 to 40 authors to over 86 in 2 months. And now we're here today, and I get to work with you, which is just lovely every single day.
Yeah, and I think your numbers are up to like over 150 authors, and am I correct?
Not 150, but because I'm the sole publicist for 6 small press publishers, I work with all of their authors as well. So I haven't done the full math, but we're probably over 120 when you think about it overall.
Wow, that's amazing. And I talk to many of your authors because you get them to come on my show, and they
Well,
are all wonderful, wonderful authors with great, great books. So I am
oh, thank you so
super
much.
excited about this
Well, you're
relationship
wonderful
that we
too.
have.
Yeah, you're
Thank
wonderful
you.
too. It's just a win-win for both of us, right? End of the day.
Definitely. Okay, so for people who may not know what a marketing person is versus a publicist, what does a publicist do differently?
Publicists focus on the traditional media piece, and this is the thing that authors have a hard time grasping. I know a lot of my clients did as well, because there's two areas. There's marketing, which sells books, and then there's publicity, which is the exposure of the brand and books. And the publicist, if they're a good publicist, they're not really trying to market the books per se. They're trying to market the brand of the individual. Because in your case, I don't use you as an example. Can I do that or
Of
no?
course, yeah,
So in your case, how many genres do you write in?
like four.
Right. You write in four genres, right? If I was marketing only your book, we now have to pivot every single time we do something with a newspaper, a podcast, a TV show, a magazine. We have to pivot every time because we're marketing the book. I don't do that. I market the individual. So when you go on a show about whatever you're talking about, whether it be the Trisha Copeland label or the Maria Jane label, they know that your branding is your branding and you can talk about any book you want. It's a really different aspect. Whereas the traditional media publicists like the Penguin Random Houses and the HarperCollins, they're focusing on the book because that's the thing of the day.
Oh, okay.
That's why they have to stop in 3 to 6 months because they're focusing on that book. We're not. We're focusing on the branding individual. So that's why we can get, and you've seen this, you've had it happen. That's why we can get backlist coverage on a book that's a year and a half old because there's always something new to talk about because we're branding and we're marketing you.
Right. So talk about the different avenues you do that for, just so my listeners will know. I mean, okay, you do an amazing job at this because I will go ahead and like tout you because I have been in a magazine with Oprah Winfrey. I've been in a magazine with Taylor Swift. Those are just some examples. I can think of newspapers. You've got already got me book signings at Barnes and Noble, three of them. And so talk to me about what other avenues there are that you get people into. I think you did you do a book tour for an author last year? Is that correct?
I did do a book tour actually for Sebastian de Castell last year. He asked me to like, and it was like 5 days before we started. He called me and had a conversation. Do you think he'd give me a couple signings in Western Alberta? Because that's where I live, right? Well, I did that. And then I decided, you know what? There's a lot of traction being built here. Let's see what else we can get. Next thing you know, he's in Alberta. He's in Saskatchewan. He's in Ontario. He's in New York.
I was going to say he went to
He's
New York
in,
City, right?
yeah, he's in New Jersey. And we got media coverage in every single one of the cities we went to. So it's just a matter of filling the boxes, crossing the T's, dotting the I's, and seeing where we go. It's no different than, and you've done this as well. I've gotten romance writers and science fiction writers on horror sites, and they sold books and they've gotten coverage. And vice versa. I've gotten horror authors on chick lit fiction podcasts. There's no rules. I break every single rule that I've been told about. And if someone tells me, well, Mickey, you can't do this, really? Just watch me. I will do it. So that's the rule. And I've done it with all of you guys, right? Like no one believed, and I know I'm boasting, I'm talking a lot, but no one would believe that I got an indie author who's getting out there in a magazine spread co-titled with Taylor Swift. No one would ever believe that. But you know what? We did it. We did it multiple times. So, yeah.
So what is the special sauce here? Is the special sauce building these relationships with magazines, with blogs, with podcasts, with bookstores so that they know, like, and trust you and know that you will provide them with a good author and that you will provide their readers, customers, listeners with good content? Is that how you build those relationships?
Well, Trish, I'm glad you asked me that question because, and here I'm going to boast a little bit about you and my other clients. I'm lucky. I get to work with some of the most talented literary people in this industry, and I get to do it every minute of every single day because I work 7 days a week, as you know. And it's all about building those relationships. And when I send my client list to a media affiliate, and you've got New York Times bestsellers on that list, and USA Today bestsellers on that list, and award winners in multiple genres, not just one genre, multiple genres. When I send them a list of 120 people that we represent, and then we want to build that relationship, most podcasts, most magazines, most places will be like, how did you get this? How? I'm like, well, it's community building, it's relationship. I want to ask you a question. You brought me on to answer stuff, right?
Right. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Is Creative Edge a community?
Oh, it's a wonderful community. It's an amazing community. I feel so supported, and there's so many good people. Like every podcast author I have, or every author I have on my podcast, I mean, especially people like Sebastian and Mark and James Shaw and so many others. JM, sorry, maybe I got that wrong.
Yeah, J.M. Shaw. Yeah.
J.M. Shaw. Okay, good. I got that right. So many wonderful authors. Catherine, just talk to me. They'll like Sebastian spent half an hour just talking shop with me after we recorded. And that was just so cool because that's what I love about connecting with, and that's why I started my podcast, to connect not only to the author community, but to the reader community. And in the process, amplify our voices and bring readers maybe a new book to love or a new author to love.
Right. So the benefit of work, and this goes back to my roots within the credit union system, which I worked in for 12 years. When I started my company, I wanted to start my company the same way the credit union system works. All the credit unions talk to each other. All the CEOs talk to each other. They collaborate. They build networks. They devise stuff. And I wanted to do that in the book community. And I think we've succeeded. And so media are like, there's no pushback. When I'm talking to a new media outlet, there's no pushback because they've heard about us. They've seen what all of us as a group can do. And it just works wonders. So it's not rocket science. The hard part's building the community and getting buy-in from people who don't truly understand what that's all about. Right. That's why I'm very, very careful about who I sign now, because everybody I sign has to mix with 120 other people. And if you don't mix that, it's not going to work. It just won't. So, yeah.
Right. And I can't imagine. Yeah. I don't know when you sleep because with 120 authors and booking at least 4 or 5, I guess, events, for lack of a better term, because an event might be an article, an event might be a podcast recording, an event might be, whatever it might be a signing too. But, that's like at least half an hour per thing, per author, 4 times a month, right? I'm like, how many hours is that?
I don't know. It's funny you mentioned that, though, because I hired a new assistant. Her name is Ashdeep. She started this last week. One of the first things I showed her was my booking calendar for the last year. And I showed her my calendar every month. And she's like, how many opportunities are on these months? Because some of the days she's like, there's like 20, 30, 40 things booked, right? And she's like, how much are you actually doing every month? I'm like, I averaging between 350 and 300, 400 events every single month.
Yeah,
like clockwork.
I bet. And you're so great because I call you 15 minutes before, Mickey, I can't find my link. And Mickey's right there every time.
I love you guys. I adore all of you. I love working with all of you. So that's, sleep. I sleep, but not much. And that's okay. It's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's super fun working with you and I learned so much too. I mean, I've been in the author community since 2015. So like 8 years maybe before I met you. But it seems like, every time I talk to you, you're like, you have a vampire book? That's horror. And I'm like, no, vampires aren't horror. Vampires are fantasy. You're like, no, Twilight is in the horror section. I'm like, you're right. Twilight is in the horror section. Vampires kill people.
The Bram Stoker Award, the biggest award in the horror category. That is a
Horror.
vampire book.
Yes. So, I don't
So
know.
vampires are definitely horror.
Sometimes I'm a little dense and
No, not at
slow on the
all.
uptake.
I'm just saying.
Right. Yeah.
We had a good laugh about it. I'm like, okay.
We did, yes. Yeah.
Dracula's
It was a realization
fantasy.
moment. So,
Yeah.
an
No, it's
aha
all
moment.
good. No, it's all good.
Fun. So,
Yes.
podcast,
Mhm.
articles, book signings. What other creative things have you done?
Book reviews,
Reviews. Okay, right.
Facebook events, magazine articles, covers. I and you guys don't see this. I spend hours crafting press releases.
Oh, right. I
Normally,
did have forgotten about those. Yeah, those are amazing.
I do between 10 and 15 press releases, sometimes 20 every single month. And then on a launch, and you guys don't know this, some of you might even know this, but on a new book launch, I'm individualizing about 300 to 400 emails every time on a brand new book. Um,
Wow.
plus, plus book reviews, Publishers Weekly, editorial reviews, because I sometimes use a newswire, but for the most part, I've got enough relationships now. I like to individualize my contacts and send them out that way. So yeah, that's what's been happening the last 11 years.
Right. And I'm sure those people you connect with appreciate that because I get so many like junk emails. It's not even funny. I'm like, you didn't even get the title right. You didn't even get the author name right. Like, hello. But those brand kits and the like one page media kits or author brand kit, like PDF document is so helpful because when you're reaching out to someone, it's good to just have one page that they can open up and read and say, okay, this is who I'm being introduced to, and this is where I may look for more content to like legitimatize them, right? So
It's funny you mentioned that because when I started doing this, I mean, you got the Mickey that already knew what he was kind of doing. A lot of the authors I used to work with, and some of them aren't working with me now, but I thank them for letting me practice. They got the Mickey that had no idea what he was doing. Like honestly, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how to talk to media. I didn't know how to do a proper press release. I didn't know how to build a relationship. I mean, and when I started, it was like, okay, I got to figure this out because all of these media people, they want to work with us. It's me stumbling through trying to build this and make mistakes along the way. I mean, at this point now, I mean, and you've seen it. We've got relationships with media every week. We have shows. Alex Lischek out of the UK, he gives us an interview every week. He has for years. I can submit 6 press releases with no pitch at all to some of our stations and our networks, and I'll get 6 interviews back. And it's one email. I'm like, here you go. Here you go, Peter. Here you go, Alan. Here's what I want to run this month. And they're like, okay, here's the dates. Bang, 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 bang. 11 years ago, that never happened. I had to individually pitch everything. So,
right.
yeah, it's a transition in progress, right?
Right. Well, I believe you had those soft skills before coming into that because it definitely is. And you seem like maybe you aren't, but you seem like a very extroverted person too. So I think that probably helps. Are you
Oh,
extroverted
I'm
or
a total
introverted?
introvert. I'm a total
Oh,
introvert.
oh,
But
okay. So,
I can shine when I need to shine, if that it makes
okay.
any sense. I used to
Yeah.
hate going to credit union events because I'm such an introverted person.
Oh,
And it's a big
interesting.
reason why I don't go to a lot of conferences because I'm a shy person actually overall. You've never seen that side of me, but it's completely true.
No, I get it because I can be on for the 30 minutes of my podcast. And if I go to a conference, like I just want to like go into my room at night and huddle under a dark blanket.
Yes,
So
we get
yeah.
it. We are the same synergy, Trisha.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We do have a
Yeah.
lot in common. I think we both like black. We both have black cats. We both live
There
on the
you
mountain. And I mean, I'm grasping for straws. We're both in the mountain time frame. Who knows? In the mountain time zone, whatever it is. Yeah.
we both like horror
We
apparently
both like horror. Yes.
in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I was thinking back. I think you originally found me to ask me to have one of your authors on my show. And then you
I
said,
think
oh,
so.
yeah. And then you said, oh, well, how many can you take? And I was like, maybe 4 a month. I mean, that makes things easy for me. If you just hand me a list of authors, that reduces my workload, right? It's like, this is a no-brainer. And then I thought, I might could use a publicist. This might be great.
2 years in, almost 2 years. I adore you. I adore you to death.
Well, right back at you. And thank you so much for being here. Maybe we will end this with a challenge. If you could tell authors and or readers one thing about maybe as an author, best practices as a reader, best way to find a cool author, tell me both of those maybe.
The author one, I'm going to go this way, and I hope I don't offend some of the indie writers who listen to your show. But I believe that whether they're traditionally published through Penguin or they're an indie author, the branding has to look professional. Handmade book covers, selfies as headshots, bios with spelling edits, or not taking the time or investing enough money in your book to properly get it out there to the world is a dramatic mistake. There are so many authors who are rapid releasing, and not just romance, because that's okay in that genre, but there are so many authors, also cute puppy, there are so many authors who are rapid releasing books, who are sacrificing the quality for quantity of sales. And from a media standpoint and from a marketing standpoint, it's actually costing them in the long run. Professionalism is key. Okay. From a reader standpoint...
You mean not to have your dog on the podcast?
No, that's okay, though, because the dog is cute, and I'm an animal guy, too. But I'm just saying, overall, and I mean, anybody we sign, they all take stock in themselves. Like, they just do. So that's one piece. From a reader perspective, my advice is this. If you're going to buy someone's book, whether it's indie or traditional, write a review. Do it. Authors need that. And it could be like 2 words, wonderful. Or if it sucks, then be a more pragmatic about it and write something nice up. But write a review, because authors rely on that. Reviews help the algorithm. It helps feedback. Even if it's a negative review, that feedback will pull wonders, because the next book they write, they're going to take more stock in that. So write a review. That's my advice.
And it helps other readers too, because then other readers, especially if you write more than 1 word, but 1 word is great. Other readers kind of say, oh, well, I didn't know this about this book, or I found this out about this book, and yes, I do like it, or maybe I don't like it, but maybe I like this other book. So yeah.
Exactly. And if the reader really likes the book, I mean, authors aren't evil. They're nice people. Get to know them. Reach out. Say how much you like the book. Develop, and then again, media. Develop a relationship with readers, fans, authors. Because that's what I'm all about. I'm all about relationships.
And that's one of my favorite things of being an author too, is like my newsletter list. Every time I send out an email, somebody replies and tells me something. It could be something random, right? But it's something.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's all about, this is a wonderful community. Let's all get invested in it. Honestly, that's my advice.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Mickey. And I hope you'll come back next year on our 3rd anniversary. I
would love that. Maybe we'll do it in person, because I would love that. With the dog. I'll bring my cat, so it'll be a tag team.
Okay. I have a black cat too, so we're all in there.
I love it.
Great. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Finding the Magic podcast. I'm your host, author and podcaster Tricia Copeland, and I love getting behind the scenes. If you like the podcast, make sure to subscribe and stop in each week to discover new authors and books. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep finding the magic.